is up, people? I'm IGP, and welcome to Jurassic World Evolution. Jurassic World Evolution is a park simulation and management game where you get to build your very own Jurassic Park. You must make the right business decisions and maintain your park, otherwise bad things can happen and we all know what will likely happen. The game itself centers around building and maintaining the park. In addition, you get to go on excavations to discover new species of dinosaur. Now, the game is not out just yet. It's set to release in June, around the same time that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is going to be coming out, a follow-up to the previous Jurassic World movie, and will very fortunately feature the good old Jeff Goldblum, who also will be narrating a lot of the gameplay you're about to see. Now, the game is developed by Frontier Developments, the same developers of Planet Coaster and Elite Dangerous. Now, these guys are also working with Universal to produce this game, so you can expect immaculate quality regarding the gameplay aspects as well as the visuals, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. Now, some context before we get started. This footage was gathered at an event showing off the first hour or so of the game to myself and other select content creators. We attended the event at Universal Studios in California, and as I didn't get to say this publicly, I do want to thank the team, Frontier Developments, for making all of this happen and for providing me that opportunity. All in all, we got to experience the game firsthand and grab some footage while we were there. The footage you are about to see is my live performance at the time, being coached by one of the developers in the background. As my channel is a Let's Play style channel, I will be providing you some commentary. However, it will be post and not directly live. In any case, I hope you guys enjoy what you see. I had an amazing experience, and the game far exceeded my expectations. Honestly, one of the best dinosaur games I have ever seen or played, and I can't wait for you guys to experience it yourself. So, without further ado, let's play Jurassic World Evolution. Ah, the title screen. Look at that cute, angry dinosaur. Tyrannosaurus on the loose, but we get to listen to the classic song in its new orchestrated fashion. Ah, how relaxing.
Okay, this is as good a place as any to begin. Isla Matanceros. It's relatively stable. Yeah, you can get your feet wet here, and you should, because diving into the deep end of the pool is where the big, angry, hungry things are, and you want to be ready before you try that.
Oh, good old Jeff Goldblum.
And so it begins again. The machinations of the ambitious, undoing extinction, playing with nature's laws. What can possibly go wrong?
Come on, Doctor. You know we've learned so much and invested even more in our Jurassic operations since the last time.
Yes, Mr. Finch, yes, the last time. There's always a last time. And a next.
Okay, now. Look, I'm Cabot Finch, Public Relations and Crisis Management, and I'm here to help you. Let's focus on what you're here to do, which is create dinosaur facilities on the islands we call the Five Deaths. Actually, Las Cinco Muertes, because Spanish is the lingo of choice around here. You'll start by building a Hammond Creation Lab. We've already started on an enclosure for you. You should just attach it to the side. But watch out for dinosaurs. Just kidding. But seriously.
All right, so we're brought into the game right away, and the first thing we need to do is build the enclosure. Now, the Hammond Creation Lab is going to be a combination of a lab where you can grow the dinosaurs and then also release them into your fenced-in area. As you can see, it's already been pre-built. Now, look at this. The animations are just amazing. Pay close attention to them. There's a lot of detail and subtle things going on that you just really can appreciate.
Obviously, you'll need to connect it to the pre-existing network of paths in the power grid.
And so here, every building has to be connected to a path, clearly, so there can be some traffic going in and out. Now, obviously, you don't need that in the real world, but here, it's mandatory.
Now comes the real test, incubating a dinosaur. You'll start with a Struthiomimus. Big word for a not-so-little egg. Get one by clicking on the lab and then selecting an egg slot. There should be enough genome data for a viable dinosaur. This also lets me evaluate your viability. So, no pressure or anything.
Right, so here is where we can start growing or incubating these dinosaurs. The percentages you see on the bottom left of each of the dinosaurs represents the percentage of the genome progress, which means that during the game when you do your expeditions, you can gather certain DNA of that particular species and collectively get enough data to be able to incubate a new dinosaur and release it into your park. Now, above the incubation sign, as you can see here, we can modify the genome, which is a great thing to be able to do. Up at the top, currently we're on the resilience tab. You can also do defense, lifespan, and cosmetic. All of these are going to have different effects on the outcome of that particular dinosaur. You can do these individually for each one that you grow. It's not going to be a universal trait or traits of that species. And you can see down here the different genes. For instance, this one, robust digestion, which seems to be, from what I could gather, combining DNA from a Komodo dragon. Which at first you're thinking to yourself, my God, can I actually splice these two together? No, it's a nice thought. But what this will do, as you can see here on the right side, it'll say which stats are being increased for this particular one and which ones are being decreased. Its resilience and prestige ratings will go up. By how much is shown on the left, and its viability will go down. The viability represents whether or not this egg will actually hatch and work properly. The less it is, the less likely that dinosaur will be able to be functioning enough to release to the park. So me being the crazy guy that I am, I went ahead and spliced it all together. The viability is still at a very good rating. 99 is pretty good. So we're at 50% of the genome progress for the Struthiomimus. The Struthiomimus? I can't remember how he pronounced it, but we'll start incubating that one.
Your job is simple, really. Create dinosaurs which attract visitors to your facilities, brings in capital, money, which means you can do more research to build better facilities and create more dinosaurs, and there you go. A circle of life, development and resources, nature and commerce. See? Simple.
And he's absolutely right. That is the goal of the game in itself, is to obviously attract the most amount of customers. In addition to having the displays of the dinosaurs in their habitats, you're going to want to have concession stands, attractions, other things that they can take interest in and spend money on. Once you have a good enough profit coming in after all the other expenses for the expeditions you'll do, maintaining the dinosaurs and the facility itself, you'll be able to turn that profit into making a better park, a more secure park, and one with better attractions. So now that the Struthiomimus is fully incubated, we're able to and are going to release this dinosaur into our habitat. Now check this out.
Life. It begins. The most precious moment. The result of incalculable actions and reactions, trials and errors, genetic mutations and unknowable combinations, chaos, all leading to a living, breathing, thinking being, an entity, distinct and unique. And now we, you, just manufacture them. So, well done, I guess.
So first, obviously, if you haven't noticed, Jeff Goldblum is actually reprising his role as Dr. Ian Malcolm. So he obviously has his specific stance on what it is that we are doing, but he is still overseeing it, wanting us to tread lightly. Now, if you didn't pay attention to it, look at the detail on this dinosaur. Now, this is just a small one. Wait till you see the Triceratops and the others that we'll bring in. These things are absolutely beautiful. The design is going above and beyond what you would typically expect in a game like this. It's unbelievable. There's like an outer layer, the skin, that has its own like rigid body. When the dinosaur walks, you can see the movements and it looks incredibly realistic, and the devs are working with the animators at Universal to help with that as well. I mean, these animations are better than anything I have ever seen regarding dinosaurs in a game. It's absolutely beautiful.
Your facility is now open, and it looks like you are attracting paying guests, which are really my favorite kind of guests. The Hammond Foundation has 3 main areas of interest: security, entertainment, and science. I've already nudged the heads of each division to reach out to you personally. They'll offer opportunities and incentives for you to be part of their team. Choose one of their contracts. It'll help you develop your facility.
So as I mentioned earlier, there are 3 different branches or divisions that you can focus on, as far as improving your park. You can do all of them simultaneously and you will get missions that will benefit each particular one. However, you can select one that you would like to start the kind of linear progress in regards to the story. For me, in this particular video, I started in the science division because I love the idea of the mutation and the expeditions to discover new dinosaurs. So as it says here, the first steps in the science is to build and power an expedition center. As I mentioned, we are actually going to be sending people out, researchers, to gather what we need to make more. Construct, power, and connect an expedition center to your park's path network. An expedition center will allow you to send out dig teams across the world in search of dinosaur fossils, the first step towards acquiring dino DNA.
Ah, Dr. Dua. This is our new...
I'm aware who I'm speaking to, Cabot. I'm Dr. Dua. I run the science division of our operation. Okay, you're going to need to build your reputation in the science division. Not easy with me around, but you'll manage. That means managing our dinosaur population and seeing that they are flourishing.
So I thought this was her. The developer wouldn't confirm whether or not it is actually her. I'm assuming that maybe that has something to do with the fact that we could potentially release a dinosaur out and kill the woman who's in charge of our main quests, or maybe I'm completely wrong. I have no idea. Everyone that works in these particular buildings will actually walk around alongside visitors who are paying customers. They are also susceptible to dinosaur attacks or anything going wrong in the park. So right now we're going to build the expedition center as required. Cost 400,000. 400 big ones. Now there's a little bit more to placing a building than was shown previously. It was actually sculpted out, an area was, of trees so that way we can plant it down. Luckily there is a spot here that we can put the expedition center.
An expedition center will allow you to send dig teams around the world in search of new dino fossils. DNA can be extracted from these fossils, which our scientists can then turn into living, breathing dinosaurs. And that's our true lifeblood. So one more thing, your reputation, your rep, quote unquote, keep an eye on it, okay? If you have a solid reputation with a division, you're more likely to benefit from them. Financially, I mean. But, like life, it's a balancing act. Each division is vying for your attention, and if they don't get it, they tend to take it personally.
So our expedition center is now here and fully built. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed that animation. I love that. Instead of just placing the fully built thing, we actually have a progress bar. Anyway, so the expedition center can send dig teams around the world to find new dinosaur fossils. Select an available dig site to start an expedition there with the first available dig team. The expedition center will display when it is ready to send out a dig team. So these are going to be one of the core buildings that we have to maintain and operate.
People think money makes the world go round, but they're wrong. Contracts make the world go round, my friend. Obligations and commitments. Complete a contract and your rep with the science division will increase. Meaning you'll be able to take on more complex and challenging missions.
I've got an interesting opportunity for you to consider. It will allow us to work together to create life. Pure life. If you've been listening to Dr. Malcolm, then you know how important this is to us, and to me.
So we're looking at a mission right now to acquire the 50% genome progress required to create our own Triceratops in the park, which is something that's like, of course, Triceratops. We need this. So it says this dinosaur has historically been found within North America, in particular around the Lance Formation dig site. So we're going to accept the mission and we can look at the map to try to find where they are.
I knew you were my kind of person. Inquisitive, driven, and I knew you couldn't resist this opportunity. So let's get started.
So as you can see here, there are locked areas and then there are areas that we can actively search for. Here's a fun fact though. These locations that you see here are actual accurate locations around the world where these particular dinosaur fossils have been discovered.
Together, we can create a more authentic version of our dinosaurs. That means a complete genome. And I think you are up to the challenge. Don't disappoint.
So we found the area, and we're going to look for some Triceratops fossils.
Good. Your first expedition team is out. They'll bring back what they find to the fossil center for extraction.
So if you didn't hear it, the helicopter actually leaves in real time. You can actually see it from the building leave for its expedition. And it says 2 minutes remaining. That's how long they will be gone for the expedition, which obviously is not a good reflection of the actual time it would take to do that. But still, you have to wait, and in the meantime, you need to maintain your park as much as possible until they return, and you can possibly get enough genome to create your own Triceratops or any other dinosaur that you would like. So this is an interesting tab. As you can see, the main function of everything was on the left. All of the main places you need to go to are there. One of them in particular will show you your power, the weather, anything else that you would like to see about your park in a summarized way, all to help the functionality and viability of your park. Now, the control room is the basic main menu, if you will. It's a lot more concise and easy to navigate. So this is your basic information, your reputation, the island rating itself, your finances, and your profit per minute, which ours is particularly low. Now this is the island progress. So currently we are on, again, the Isla Matanceros. As we do well in this park, once we get it up and running, we can move on to more difficult parks. And I don't know what this one is, but I'm intrigued. You can access the expedition map right away, and also the fossils. Now this area is going to be showing you what particular fossils have been already brought back completely from an expedition or past expeditions. As you can see, there's different types. There's one Triceratops right there. There's different grades of it as well. Sometimes your expedition can come back and bring nothing, just rock samples that you can actually sell for a decent amount of money that you can then put back into your park. If you aren't going to sell it, you should use it to extract the DNA from it. So here's a Triceratops fossil that we have already had from a previous expedition, or it's starting off in the game. Current genome progress on it is 20%. This one will increase it by 8% if we extract the DNA. If it's something that we didn't need, we could sell it for $30,000 to put back into the park. Now, the medium quality is representing the quality of the entire fossil. It's the higher the quality, the higher the percentage of the genome progress you get to add to it. So 33 seconds left to extract that DNA to add to the genome progress. So this is the research tab, if you will, where you can actually discover new genetic and medical research. Genetic research is going to allow you to splice and alter the traits of your dinosaurs. You can unlock new enclosures, new buildings, and even upgrade those particular buildings that you have as well. And this is the database that I told you about. You can learn about the dinosaurs, the dig sites, which are accurate to real-world dig sites, paleontology, different genes, the locations, and an archive of all kinds of information. So we go into genetic research here, and you can see that there are a ton of different things that you can learn, and some that we already know about, all coming from different types of animals. In particular, this one from an octopus, we have a snake, a shark. It says here, the intuitive learning trait genes. Splicing this gene will increase the attack and resilience traits. Tests show octopus DNA forming rapid neural connections in the brain. So we started learning that, so we can apply that to our future dinos. So here we are back at the fossils tab, and as you can see, we have some new stuff. We have a rock here. It's called rhodium. There's no dinosaur DNA in this, so we are actually just going to sell this for $80,000. Now, this one is a very high quality Triceratops amber. Now, the mosquito and amber, if you guys remember the original Jurassic Park, this is how it all pretty much started, is that there was a mosquito that had taken blood or DNA out of a dinosaur millions and millions and millions of years ago. That mosquito has then been naturally encased in amber, therefore preserving everything about it. Once taken out, this DNA can still be active enough to use, in this case, to replicate these dinosaurs. In any case, this is a Triceratops amber where the particular species is being held in there that will give us a 26% boost, pushing us past the 50% margin in order to actually make our own Triceratops. And here's another one of medium quality that can add another 8%, so we'll do that. And here, of course, we still got 2 minutes remaining on the intuitive learning. Now, I was told originally that you won't be able to splice particularly two dinosaurs together. However, I did come across this panel here called Hybrid Projects, where it says hybrid dinosaurs contain genetic material from a whole range of species, but their base genome is typically made of two dinosaurs. So I'm confident we'll see a little bit more of that and kind of what we all really want in the future. I'm sure it won't be to the degree that you can have a Triceratops head on a Tyrannosaurus Rex body, but something where the traits will be spliced and you can see a little bit of both in the creature, maybe looking like something we haven't seen before. And here we go, new viable genome. We have our Triceratops.
We are making great strides so far. I believe I may be on the cusp of something wondrous, and I have you to thank, at least in part, for where I find myself. Now we need to incubate, hatch, and house our dinosaur. Then we will know if our efforts will have been worth it.
So here we go. For our Triceratops, we do have the attack tab that we can upgrade if we want with a tooth hardness. It says the source is Panthera leo. I have no idea. Looks like a lion to me. So this is pretty good. It increases the attack by 5. There's another one that we can do particularly for the Triceratops, and that is the skin toughness from crocodiles. Again, 1 less in viability, but upping its defense by 5. And we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to make our own custom Triceratops. Cardio strength 1.0. That looks like an emu or an ostrich, I can't tell. But its lifespan is going to be increased by 5, which I don't know how that reflects in the in-game or real-world time. But obviously, a higher lifespan means that they can survive longer and make you basically the most money. Isn't that messed up to think about? These dinosaurs aren't here to breathe in life and experience what life is like. They're here to make you money. What a fantastic time we live in with these dinosaurs. And so as you can see, it says our Triceratops is modified, and we will incubate this for $250,000. The incubation is going up pretty fast, and again, in the meantime, while these things are happening, you can manage your park. And now we finally got the intuitive learning from the octopus that we can use. We probably could have used on the Triceratops, but whatever, man. So as you can see, there's kind of a tree for these as well. It's 1 out of 3 that we've unlocked. We need to increase the amount of research centers we have in order to unlock the next one, which would be 3. All right, we just got a message that says the dinosaur is ready to release, so we're going to go here and release it into our habitat. What a beauty. Again, pay attention specifically to how the body moves and interacts with the ground. Even the sounds, just listen to this thing. Now, this is a cinematic of sorts, but it is real time. This is just an interesting way to show you that your dinosaur is important to each and every one that you have.
Our new specimens, dinosaurs, are meeting expectations, but we want them to thrive. That's your next assignment. Making sure our specimens are properly cared for. In other words, dinosaur welfare.
The difference with dinosaurs is that they have no point of reference to understand humans, so don't expect much in the way of thank yous.
So as you can see, this Triceratops in particular ran straight out to the fence. It almost seemed like it wanted to escape. Now, being that it's an herbivore, we do have to place down a specific enclosure for it to eat. In this case, it would be the herbivore station. This will release plants for the Triceratops to feed on, and as far as water goes, obviously it's right in front of it, so it will drink when it needs it. There are different types of feeders, as you can see here, the live bait and the carnivore feeders for different types of carnivores. You've seen the movie, so you know exactly what happens to that poor little goaty. Poor goaty. Oh, look, there's Mr. Stiffilabob eating the plants. There's the tall herbivore feeder, which is for much longer or taller dinosaurs. And as you can hear, it starts raining. There are different types of weather events that happen just as they would in the real world that you need to pay attention to in order to maintain the park properly. And of course, the dinosaurs. And here we go. We got another research complete, the immune response 1.0. Splicing this gene will increase the lifespan and resilience traits. Now, our current mission says prehistoric life. Construct an operational ranger station. A ranger station in particular is going to be one that can maintain the dinosaurs if one is to escape. If there is a problem with it, we can medicate it. If there's something that needs to be fixed around the park, they can do it as well. It's going to be your central hub for maintenance. So the park looks like it's coming along pretty well. Look at this. Nice and rainy. Probably going to have something break out and kill us all. It's all good. So we have the ranger station constructed fully, and now we're going to try to get our Triceratops up a little bit more. Currently at 63%. It's not requiring that much more. So we're back at the map now, and we're going to send them back to get some more Triceratops. You can actually go back to the same place and get more. So we're going to take a look at the medical treatment tab now. So the medical treatment tab is going to be where you can learn different cures and things to help the dinosaurs if they are to get into any kind of trouble with their immune system, or if they're injured or whatever. And here's what I was talking about. This is the faculty. Everyone's going for, I guess, lunch? I actually don't know what the time is. Or maybe a break, all at the same time. But they are open and vulnerable. If anything were to get out, it would be devastating. So, our research is complete for the hookworm parasites, and now all we're doing is waiting for our expedition chopper to come back in, which will be signaled by a sound. And what's really interesting is you'll see how the helicopter affects the environment around it. It will move the trees, split the grass. Just look at that. So there you go. Perfect landing, no trouble at all, and we have some new things to do. So we're going to go ahead and sell that, and we got an amphibian fossil that doesn't have any DNA to extract for dinosaurs, but obviously it's worth a lot of money. And here's our 2 Triceratops. One will do by 8, and the other will do by 4, which will be 12, which would be exactly what we need to complete our mission. And there we go, 77% for the Triceratops, and we're going to go ahead and incubate it. We're not going to modify it right now, but you can definitely take some careful time in choosing how you want your dinosaur to be. All right, so our dinosaur is now ready to release, and we will do it. It's actually amazing. It pushes the trees, the bushes, everything out of the way as it walks. Even look at the grass splitting too. All happening in real time. And as I mentioned, you can skip right out of it.
Oh my gosh, you got a sick dinosaur on your hands. It's time to treat it. Or what comes next, that's going to be on your hands as well.
So at this point, one of the dinosaurs becomes sick, and we are going to have to use the ranger station to medicate it. So that is it for this introductory part of the game. There's still a lot of footage that I've gathered from playing the game, and we'll show that in the next episode, which will cover over the rangers and how they work, how you can actually control individual units, or you can let it be automated. We'll also experience what happens when a dinosaur breaks out, and we'll get to see what a carnivore can do. So that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know in the comments section below what your favorite thing about this game is so far. And of course, whether or not you would like to see some more content on it. Now, this and the rest of the footage is all I have to work with until the game actually comes out. And if you want some more information, down in the description below, you can check out the website, watch the trailer. Thanks again for watching, guys. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!